Today we are going to be doing a nice gentle practice with the support of a chair. So it's the only prop you'll need for class today. This is a great practice for anyone who struggles getting onto their knees, or if you have an injury that you're working with, or maybe you're stuck at a desk, you can get some great ideas for opening up the hips, the calves, hamstrings, quadriceps. We are going to do a couple of standing postures, a little bit of balancing today, but that'll be toward the end of class. So to start off with, go ahead and take a seat in your chair and find a nice tall spine. So instead of sitting and leaning back against your chair, sit up nice and tall. You can rest the hands on the lap, roll the shoulders down and away from the ears, and start to reach up through the crown of the head. So we're nice and tall. And then have your legs at a 90-degree angle. So our ankles are right over underneath our knees, and our knees are right in line with our hips. And then go ahead and close your eyes, and we'll just start to tune into our breathing. So as we settle in here in this position, just feel the feet grounding into the earth. And then bring your awareness to your seat and the support of the chair underneath. And then feel the energy lifting up as we lengthen the spine. And start to deepen the breath. So as we inhale, let the belly fill and expand. Guide the breath up through the ribs, into the chest. And as we exhale, release in the opposite direction, first from the chest, then through the ribs. And then as we release all of our extra air out at the end of the exhale, draw the belly button back toward the spine. Relax the jaw. And gently open the eyes, and we'll start to add some movement to our breath. So as we inhale, just sweep those arms up overhead. Keep the arms nice and extended, reaching through the fingertips. As we exhale, we'll release the arms down by the side, reaching the fingertips down toward the floor. Again, stay nice and lifted through the spine. Inhaling, reaching up. Exhaling, releasing arms down by the side. And of course, go at your own pace. So inhaling and exhaling, try and make them long and smooth, but it might be at a different pace that I'm offering here. Just start to feel a little warmth building in the shoulders. Let's do 3 more. Inhaling, reaching up overhead. Exhaling, releasing the hands down by the side. Last breath. Good. Then we want to start our class always, wherever we are, with a nice twist in the spine. So go ahead and just take that left hand to your right knee and start to reach that right arm back behind you. And then just twist from the base of the spine up through the crown of the head. Start to look out over the shoulder. Again, stay nice and lifted. And then we'll switch sides. So bring your right hand to your left knee, your left hand to the back of your chair, and sit up nice and tall. Start to look out over the shoulder. One more breath here. And release from the twist. I'm going to take a gentle forward fold here. So bring your forearms, reach opposite hand toward opposite elbow, and then bring the forearms down toward the knees. And instead of hunching and rounding the shoulders, find a nice lifted or lengthened spine. So pulling those shoulders away from the ears, reaching out through the crown of the head. If you want to get a little bit deeper into the hamstrings, you can either stay here, or another option is to extend the legs. Come to the edge of your chair, extend the legs forward, flex the toes back toward the face, and lift the arms up overhead. And start to hinge forward over the legs. You might not come very far, that's totally fine. Just feel a nice stretch in the hamstrings. And again, keep the spine lifted. So instead of rounding and hunching, try to lengthen and extend. Inhale. Exhale. Wherever you are, one more. Inhale. Exhale. Good. And then start to walk the hands back up the legs if you're forward folded, and bring the feet right back underneath the knees, scoot back in the chair. From here, we're going to take a nice hip stretch. So taking that left ankle, crossing it over the right knee. And if the knee is way up like this, no worries. We're just going to start to stretch the hip by gently pressing the knee down toward the floor. Maybe it doesn't go very far. Just keep a nice lifted spine. So sit up tall, press that knee down. Should feel a nice stretch in your outer hip. This would be a seated pigeon pose. Inhale. Exhale. 2 more. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the nose. Last breath. Inhale. And exhale. And again, your pace may be different with the breath. That's perfectly fine. Just keep it nice and steady. And then we're going to switch sides. So place the left foot on the floor. Cross that right ankle over the left knee. You can take hold of the left or the right heel with the left hand, and then just take that right hand onto the right knee. Gently press it down toward the earth. And again, it might not be very deep, but you do want to feel a stretch. No pain, just a stretch. And if this is too much of an angle, you can always bring your leg up a little bit, or your ankle up a little bit further on your leg. But we are working toward a parallel line here with the shin. 2 more breaths. Inhale. Exhale through the nose. Last breath. Inhale. Exhale through the nose. Good. And release. Scoot yourself all the way back into the back of your chair. We're going to take a stretch for our shoulders. So inhale, both arms up overhead. You can maybe look up at the fingertips. Take the palms, connect them above your head, and then take the thumbs to the back of the head. Start to press the back of the head into the thumbs and lift your chin away from your chest. Lift your chest toward the sky. On the inhale, reach both arms back up overhead. And this time on the exhale, we'll just cactus those arms. So bring your arms into a W shape. Elbows a little bit lower than the shoulders. Pull those shoulder blades together behind you. So we're using a little spinal strength here. And again, lift through the chest, maybe lift the gaze. Last breath. Really squeeze those shoulder blades together. So we're getting a nice stretch through the chest, but we're also strengthening through our upper back. Reach both arms up overhead. And as we exhale, bring hands down toward the knees. And from here, we're going to take it into a supported crescent pose. So we'll just experiment with this. If it doesn't work, we'll try another variation. So we're going to turn either direction in your chair, and then just bring your leg back to 90 degrees at the side of your chair. So your knee is going to be right over your ankle. We're going to keep our right hip on our chair, so we can move ourselves a little bit further toward the front of the chair, and then we'll take that left leg and we'll start to extend it behind us. If this is where we are today, this is fine. What we're working toward is a nice grounded front foot and a nice extended back leg. So I'm going to scoot a little bit further forward on my chair and start to straighten through the back leg. It's okay if it's not straight. We're just working in that direction. You'll feel a beautiful stretch in the front side of your left hip. Now, most importantly here, wherever the leg is, we want to find a nice lifted spine. So get those shoulders right over the hips. You can have the hands on your chair supporting you here, or if you want to take it a little bit further, you can start to reach the arms up overhead. So a nice supported crescent pose. Shoulders are nice and relaxed away from the ears. Take one more breath. Inhale. Exhale, release the hands back to the knee or the chair, and then we're gonna switch directions. So come through center and take the left knee, bring it toward the chair so the left toes are pointed toward the side, and then scoot yourself forward toward the front of the chair and start to walk the right leg, or whichever, the opposite leg, out behind. So it might look like this for you, that's fine. If you want to take it a little bit deeper, start to walk it further back behind you. We're working eventually toward a straight back leg. Can sometimes take some time though to open up those hips. So you should feel a nice stretch in the front of your right hip. And then hands can be on the chair, on your leg, or if you want to take it a little bit deeper, start to lift the arms up overhead. But either way, we want the shoulders over the hips. So if you find that you're hunching forward, just start to press into the hands and lift the chest. And then if the arms extend overhead, work towards straight arms as well. 2 more breaths here. Last breath, inhaling and exhaling through the nose. As we exhale, we'll release the hands back onto the knees, and then we'll come back to neutral toward the front, back sitting in our chair without the back against it. So nice long spine again. Plant those feet flat on the floor, and then inhale, both arms up overhead. We're gonna take our right hand and encircle our left wrist, and we're gonna take a side bend. This is a great stretch for we're gonna side bend to the right first. So we're gonna stretch through the left ribs. And again, it might not be very deep. Just try and stay lifted and lengthened. Instead of hunching and rolling, try to lengthen up and take it a little bit deeper to the side. Breathe into your left ribs, feel a nice expansion along the whole left side of the body. And then come all the way back up. Switch the grip, so left hand around the right wrist, reach up, and then side bend to the left. And maybe it's only this far. Just stay lifted no matter how deep we go. We want to keep the spine nice and lengthened. And trying to avoid the chin coming onto the chest. It's a lot of strength to hold ourselves here. Continue to breathe, work with the breath. And last breath, maybe on this last exhale, we go just a little bit deeper. And then come back up to center, release the hands back onto the knees. We're gonna take a couple of standing postures now. So we're just gonna come behind our chair. I'm gonna move my chair sideways so you can see. Just come behind our chair. And take the hands onto the chair and then start to walk your feet back so the arms extend long. Keep the feet at hip distance apart. And then maybe we stay here. If this feels like a nice stretch in the hamstrings, the back, or the shoulders, that is perfectly good place to stay. Otherwise, we can start pressing those hips back and bringing the chest toward the floor. You should feel a beautiful stretch in your shoulders as well as getting into the hamstrings. So even if the knees are bent, that's fine. We're working eventually towards straight legs. So start to feel that stretch in the hamstrings so you know that you're opening up the backs of the legs. Last breath. And then start to walk your feet back toward the chair. And from here, we're going to come back toward the front of, before we do that, we're going to take one more stretch for the hips and the hamstrings. So we're just going to walk the right foot closer to the chair, and the left foot is going to take about a 2 to 3 foot step back behind us. We want our heels so they're basically the right leg lined up toward one chair leg and the left leg lined up to the other chair leg. I'm not used to making all these cues with chairs in them. Getting the hang of it. And then we want to square the hips toward the chair. and place the hands on the chair. So this might be a great stretch here. Pulling that right hip back and that left hip forward will increase the stretch in the hips. And if you are feeling stable and want to, you can bring the hands up overhead. Stay nice and lifted. The legs are nice and active. And release the hands, and we'll switch the legs. So bring that left leg forward, the right leg back. And then the two legs are going to be in line with the hips, in line with the chair legs. The right foot is at a 45-degree angle, and the left foot is facing straight forward. And use the chair here for support. You can stay nice and lifted and lengthened through the spine. The legs are tight and active. And then option to reach the arms up overhead. See if we can get those shoulders right over the hips, steady through the feet. And release. Now we're going to come back to the front of the chair. So I'm just going to switch sides here. So we're going to work into a balancing posture. You do have your chair here for support, or you can even take another chair in front if you'd like, or you don't have to use the chair at all with the hands, depending on how stable you feel. So we're going to spread our toes nice and wide and create a solid foundation. And then we're going to take that left leg and we're going to bring it behind us and place it on the chair. So you can have the top of the foot flat to the chair. And then we're going to start to lift up through the crown of the head and then draw those knees in toward each other. If we feel steady and balanced, we can bring the hands to the heart. If you'd like to increase the stretch in the calf and the foot, just tuck those toes under. One more breath. And then from here, we can take a supported back bend as an option if you feel stable. So one option is to hold on to the back of the chair. The other option is to reach down toward the heel. And then we extend the opposite arm up overhead and start to lift the chest. Maybe look up. If you're feeling unstable or unbalanced, keep your gaze on the floor about 2 or 3 feet in front of you. And just find that nice lift through the chest, nice extended arm. Kind of a variation on a camel pose here. And then let's switch sides. So come forward and take the opposite foot onto the chair. So that right foot, you can use your hand on the chair to stabilize you. Top of the foot comes onto the chair. We draw the knees towards each other. If you're feeling pretty balanced and stable, you can bring the hands to the heart. And lift through the chest, lift through the crown of the head. Last breath here. And then option for the calf and the foot stretch is to tuck the toes under. Or you can keep your foot flat to the floor. Steady yourself. The gaze is very important in balancing. So we want to keep the gaze on the floor, staring at one steady spot. And then moving into the back bend, we can take that right hand maybe to the chair, a little more supportive, maybe to the heel, and then extend the left arm up toward the ceiling. Start to lift through the chest, a little back bend here. And again, maybe lifting that gaze, but if we're feeling unstable, just keep the gaze down on the floor, but keep the chest away from, or the chin away from the chest. Last breath. And release. Good. And we'll take one more balancing posture here. We have a couple of options with this balancing posture. So we'll come to the high side of our chair as option number one. And we're going to start to lift that left leg off to the left. You'll feel a lot of strengthening happening in your left outer hip. Stay nice and strong through the right leg, and then maybe extend the arms up overhead. Otherwise, we keep the hand on the chair or one arm lifted. Hold here. Keep spiraling that left toe forward so you can feel your hip and your glute working. And release. And then we'll take it on the other side. You don't need to be moving your chair around. I'm just doing this so you can see. Hold on to the chair with the left hand, steady yourself through the left leg, and then start to extend the right leg off to the right. Spiral your toes so they're facing forward and you feel the work coming from your outer hip and your glute. And again, you can take both hands up overhead if you're feeling balanced, or maybe one arm up overhead. Otherwise, both arms can be down by the side. Hold here. Feel the legs working. And release. Good, let's come back onto our chair in a seated position. And we're gonna do a pranayama, a breathing exercise called Robin's breath. So scoot forward on your chair so you have a little bit of room to move with your arms. We're gonna bring the hands to heart center. Sit up nice and tall. We wanna stay lifted the whole time. We're gonna inhale through the nose. As we exhale through the nose, extend the arms straight forward. As we inhale through the nose, we're gonna cactus our arms, bring them nice and wide, and start to lift the chest. Maybe lift the gaze, bring the chin off the chest. And as we exhale, we'll bring the palms of the hands together and we'll dip the chin toward the chest. So that's one round. You'll get a hang of it as we do it a couple times. So the inhales here, exhale, extend the arms forward. Inhale, lift the chest and gaze. Exhale, hands together, chin to chest. Inhale, heart center. Exhale, extend the arms forward. Inhale, cactus the arms, lift the chest. Exhale, draw chin to chest, hands together. Inhale, heart center. Exhale, extend the arms forward. Inhale, lift the chest and gaze. Exhale, chin to chest, palms together. Heart center. Arms forward. Cactus the arms. Connect the palms, dip the chin. One more on your own. Bring the hands back to heart center. Roll those shoulders away from the ears. Thank you for practicing with me today. Today, as you go forward, may you have peace in your thoughts, peace in your words, and peace in your heart. Namaste.